Have you ever felt out of place in your own family? As though your soul was dropped into a storm of chaos for reasons you can't quite understand? You're not alone. Many believe that chosen ones, those destined to bring light, healing, and transformation, are often born into toxic families. But why? Why are those with such extraordinary purpose placed in environments that seem designed to break them? The answer lies in the paradox of growth. To unlock the potential of the chosen, the universe often challenges them with environments that demand resilience, self-awareness, and transformation. In toxic families, patterns of neglect, manipulation, and dysfunction push the chosen ones to ask deeper questions. Who am I? What do I deserve? What am I here to change? These challenges forge them into warriors of light. They become the ones who can empathize, heal, and ultimately break generational cycles of toxicity. It's not an easy journey, but it's one filled with purpose. So if you've ever felt trapped in a toxic family, remember, it's not a curse, it's a calling. You were born into the storm not to drown, but to learn how to navigate it and eventually to guide others to safety. When we hear the term chosen ones, it might sound mystical, like something out of a fantasy novel. But in this context, being a chosen one carries a deeply spiritual and personal significance. A chosen one is not someone who is perfect or without flaws. They are individuals who feel a deep sense of purpose, a calling to rise above ordinary challenges and become a beacon of light for others. Often, they carry an innate sense that they are meant for something greater, something transformative. Chosen ones often possess unique qualities that set them apart from those around them. They are highly empathetic, deeply intuitive, and carry an almost unshakable resilience. They often feel out of place in their environment, questioning societal norms, traditions, and expectations. This sense of otherness isn't a sign of superiority, but of responsibility. Chosen ones are called to break cycles, challenge toxicity, and elevate not just themselves, but the people and spaces they interact with. However, this journey is rarely easy. Being a chosen one means being tested. Often, these individuals are born into toxic families or environments. This isn't a coincidence, but rather a crucible, a space where their strength, character, and purpose are forged. Chosen ones are not defined by their struggles, but by their ability to transcend them. They are the ones who break generational curses, heal wounds, and inspire change. And it all begins with understanding their purpose. Characteristics of toxic families. To understand why chosen ones are often born into toxic families, we must first identify the characteristics of these families. Toxic families are not always overtly harmful. Sometimes the damage lies beneath the surface, hidden in subtle behaviors and patterns. First, let's talk about emotional manipulation. Toxic families often use guilt, fear, or shame to control one another. This can look like parents saying, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me?" Or siblings spreading rumors to isolate and undermine each other. These dynamics are designed to keep the family member in a cycle of dependency and compliance. Another hallmark is a lack of boundaries. In toxic families, personal space, privacy, and individuality are often disregarded. For instance, a parent might read a child's diary or dictate every aspect of their life, leaving the individual feeling suffocated and without a sense of autonomy. Toxic families also exhibit constant criticism and invalidation. Whether it's belittling achievements or amplifying flaws, the goal is to undermine self-esteem. A child might hear, "You'll never be good enough," or "Stop dreaming so big. It's unrealistic." Over time, this erodes their confidence and instills self-doubt. Additionally, projection and scapegoating are common tactics. In toxic families, one member is often labeled the problem or failure, regardless of their actual actions. This scapegoat becomes the outlet for the family's frustrations, bearing the burden of blame for issues they didn't cause. Toxic families thrive on secrecy and denial. Problems like addiction, abuse, or mental health struggles are often hidden behind a facade of perfection. Conversations around these issues are dismissed or labeled as family matters, ensuring the cycle continues. Lastly, toxic families often exhibit a lack of support and empathy. When a family member expresses pain or vulnerability, they are met with dismissal, mockery, or indifference. This creates a sense of isolation, as if their struggles are insignificant or burdensome. These characteristics not only create a harmful environment, but also shape the chosen one's journey. Facing such adversity becomes a crucible, forging resilience, empathy, and a profound sense of purpose. In the next section, we'll explore why chosen ones are placed in these environments and how they rise above them to fulfill their purpose. The purpose behind the challenge. Have you ever wondered why some of the most extraordinary people, those who seem destined to make a difference, are born into the most challenging environments? Toxic families, filled with pain, dysfunction, and adversity, often seem like the least likely places for greatness to emerge. But what if the struggle isn't a coincidence, but part of a divine plan? The purpose behind the challenge is not punishment, it's preparation. Toxic families act as a crucible, a transformative space where the chosen ones are forged into their highest selves. These environments force them to develop resilience, empathy, and inner strength that no ordinary upbringing could provide. Adversity teaches lessons that privilege and comfort cannot. Chosen ones learn to navigate emotional chaos, to see the truth beneath deception, and to heal wounds, both their own and others. These skills are essential for the mission they are destined to fulfill. But why a toxic family? Because these relationships often mirror the world's greater issues. By overcoming dysfunction on a personal level, chosen ones gain the tools and wisdom to address dysfunction on a global scale. They learn compassion for the broken, strength in vulnerability, and how to turn pain into purpose. In a toxic environment, common struggles of chosen ones in toxic families. Chosen ones, those individuals destined for greatness, purpose, or a higher calling, are often born into toxic families. This isn't by coincidence. It's part of a greater plan to shape them into the resilient, empathetic, and wise individuals they need to become. But that journey is far from easy. In this section, we'll dive into the common struggles faced by chosen ones in toxic families. If this resonates with you, know that you're not alone. 1. Feeling like an outsider. From an early age, chosen ones often feel like they don't belong in their own families. They may think differently, act differently, or hold values that clash with the toxic patterns around them. This sense of being different can lead to loneliness and self-doubt. But in reality, this sense of separation is a sign of their unique path. It's the universe preparing them to rise above the dysfunction. 2. Being the family scapegoat. In many toxic families, chosen ones are made the scapegoat, the one blamed for everything that goes wrong. They're criticized, ridiculed, and unfairly targeted, often bearing the brunt of unresolved family issues. This scapegoating is painful, but it serves a purpose. It forces the chosen one to confront the toxic patterns head-on and eventually break free from them. 3. Emotional neglect and suppression. Toxic families often lack emotional support. Chosen ones may grow up feeling invisible, their emotions dismissed or invalidated. They're told to toughen up or stop being so sensitive, which can lead to emotional suppression. Over time, this emotional neglect teaches chosen ones how to process and heal on their own, fostering independence and inner strength. 4. Overwhelming responsibility. In toxic families, the chosen one is often burdened with responsibilities far beyond their years. They may act as the peacemaker, caretaker, or emotional support system for others. This unfair burden can feel overwhelming, but it also instills a deep sense of responsibility and resilience, qualities that will serve them well in their greater mission. 5. Constant gaslighting. Chosen ones in toxic families often endure gaslighting, where their reality and experiences are denied or minimized. They're made to feel crazy for speaking the truth. While this can shatter confidence, it also teaches chosen ones the value of trusting their intuition and standing firm in their truth. 6. Suppression of talents and dreams. Chosen ones are often discouraged from pursuing their passions or dreams. Toxic families may downplay their talents, making them feel insignificant. But despite this suppression, their inner drive remains strong, pushing them to follow their purpose against all odds. These struggles aren't easy, but they're part of the refining process. Chosen ones are like diamonds, shaped under pressure to shine brightly in the world. If you face these challenges, take heart. You're being prepared for something extraordinary. Stay tuned for the next section, where we explore how chosen ones can heal and thrive beyond the toxicity. Signs you're a chosen ones are often born into environments that seem more challenging than most. Toxic families, difficult relationships, and intense trials aren't random. They're part of the preparation for your unique path. But how can you tell if you are a chosen one? Let's explore the visual signs you're on this extraordinary journey. From an early age, you felt like you don't quite fit in. While others are content with surface-level connections, you crave deeper understanding and purpose. This sense of alienation is a key sign you're a chosen one. Many chosen ones are placed in toxic family dynamics. This isn't a punishment, it's training. These experiences teach you resilience, empathy, and how to break generational cycles. Chosen ones are naturally drawn to self-discovery. Whether it's through reading, meditation, or questioning societal norms, your thirst for truth and meaning is undeniable. You often feel compelled to uplift and guide those around you, even at the expense of your own comfort. This sense of purpose is a clear indicator that you've been chosen for a higher mission. Whether you call it God, the universe, or something else, you sense a powerful force guiding your path. This connection gives you strength, even during life's darkest moments. Your life hasn't been easy, but every setback has been a lesson. Each challenge you've faced has shaped you into someone who can inspire and lead others. As you step into your role, you'll notice others gravitating toward you. Chosen ones have a magnetic energy that draws like-minded souls into their lives. Recognizing these signs is just the beginning. Trust your intuition, heal from past wounds, and step into your true purpose. You are more powerful than you realize. How to heal and embrace your role. Have you ever wondered why your journey as a chosen one began in the most unlikely of places, a toxic family? What if I told you that this wasn't a mistake, but a divine setup to forge you into who you're meant to be? Chosen ones often come into toxic families for a reason. These environments challenge you from the start, shaping you into a vessel of transformation. The dysfunction around you is a call to awaken, to rise above the pain, and to break generational cycles. Toxic families act as a mirror, reflecting the patterns and wounds humanity needs to heal. From these struggles, you learn resilience and compassion. These traits are essential for your role as a chosen one, a beacon of light and healing for others. Your family may not understand your purpose, and that's okay. You were never meant to fit into the old patterns, but to create something new. Healing begins with understanding. Acknowledge that your family's toxicity isn't your fault. You were placed in that environment not to carry their burdens, but to learn from them and rise above. Start by creating boundaries. Protect your peace by limiting exposure to negativity and focusing on your personal growth. Embrace tools like journaling, therapy, and spiritual practices to release pain and find clarity. Forgiveness is also key, not for their sake, but for yours. Release the resentment that keeps you tethered to their energy. Let go so you can rise higher. As you heal, your true purpose will become clear. Embrace your role as a healer, a guide, and a light. Your struggles were not in vain. They were the foundation for your greatness. Remember, chosen one, you were not born into a toxic family to be broken, but to break free. Step into your purpose, heal yourself, and light the way for others. As we wrap up, let's connect the pieces of this intricate puzzle. Why are chosen ones often born into toxic families? The answer lies in the very essence of their journey. Toxic families are not a coincidence. They are a crucible, a testing ground designed to forge chosen ones into their true purpose. Think of the toxic environment as a training ground. It challenges the chosen ones to develop resilience, compassion, and self-awareness. These difficult environments often expose them to pain, rejection, and betrayal. But it is in these moments of hardship that the chosen one begins to awaken. Pain becomes their teacher. Every wound, every harsh word, every betrayal is a lesson that pushes them closer to their destiny. Toxic families also serve as a mirror. They reflect the very patterns and cycles the chosen ones are meant to break. They are born into dysfunction to recognize it, understand it, and ultimately transcend it. This isn't just about personal growth. It's about breaking generational curses, healing ancestral wounds, and rewriting the narrative for future generations. Moreover, toxic families often instill a sense of misplacement or alienation in the chosen ones. They feel like outcasts, as if they don't belong. But this feeling is not a flaw. It's a compass pointing them toward their true purpose. By being forced to find strength within themselves, they uncover their unique gifts, the very tools they will use to impact the world. Let's not forget, the chosen ones are agents of change. They challenge the status quo, disrupt unhealthy patterns, and inspire transformation. To do this, they must first experience the darkness they are meant to transform. Toxic families, while painful, are the catalyst that propels them toward this mission. In the end, chosen ones are not victims of their circumstances. They are alchemists. They take the negativity, pain, and toxicity they've endured and transmute it into wisdom, strength, and healing. They learn that their worth is not tied to the validation of their family or anyone else. They discover their light and understand that it was meant to shine brightest in the darkness. So if you're a chosen one who has endured the trials of a toxic family, remember this. You were not born into that environment to be broken by it. You were born to rise above it. Your strength lies in your ability to turn your pain into purpose and your scars into stories of triumph. The world needs your light. It's why you were chosen. Being born into a toxic family isn't a coincidence. It's a calling. Chosen ones are placed in these environments to break generational curses, heal deep-rooted wounds, and bring light to the darkest places. The toxicity isn't a punishment, but a preparation for growth, resilience, and transformation. Your experiences shape you into a guide for others, showing what's possible when love and wisdom overcome pain and dysfunction.